welcome to the Scott Show podcast. We are talking today about elections coming up here in Duluth and Superior. Superior doesn't have any elections, but we always like to add them in anyway, as it's keeping it local here on the Scott Show podcast. We are going to talk a little bit about Minneapolis and St. Paul too. Unfortunately, we don't have any guests with us today, but this is going to be just an informational little going on here. We do have mayoral elections, city council elections in Minneapolis, St. Paul. Really important stuff going on all the way across the board. So I want to give a big shout out to everyone who's running for office, even the ones that I'm not going to vote for. I still got to give you credit for running. So here we are in Duluth. We got the school board. We have 4 candidates on the at-large school board. And I'll give you my picks, just who I kind of think. So we have Josh Gorham, we have Dana, and I do not want to try to pronounce that last name, but her first name is Dana, and she makes sure that it says that on her lit pieces and her stuff. Sally Trenka and Harry Welty, that's the 4 that are on the list for the at-large. If I had to be a betting man, and this is kind of how I'm going to do it, just based on what I know and what I see in the community, I'm going to have to say Harry Welty and Sally Trenka are going to be your winners in that. The other 2, Dana came in at a deep 4th place in the election. I do wish her well. Josh Gorham, I don't know him. I have not heard that much about him. So, yeah, I just haven't. So I'm going to say Sally and Harry will be the winners. And then they can have as much fun with that as possible in the news. I'm going to give you news, folks, a heads up. It's going to be Harry Welty is the incumbent, and Sally Trenka is the new one, and so they could take a picture of them together and say, there's where Harry met Sally. That's just terrible, but hell, it works, and it might sell an extra paper or two. All right, so you have the school board member in District 1. You have Kurt Kuhn against Rosie Leffler-Kemp. Big shout out to Rosie Leffler-Kemp. She's working it. I saw pictures of her with Aaron Murphy, Representative Aaron Murphy, knocking on doors in the snow. I'm going to give it to Rosie. She's just one hell of a school board member and an amazing person. So, Kurt Kuhn, though, I've seen a few things from him. I haven't really seen anything that would be like, all right, I'm going to change my vote if I lived in that district. But that is what's going on. Rosie and Kurt Kuhn are in District 1. District 4, I think, is a fight. I'm not even going to pick a winner in this one. I think it's going to go right down to the vote. Art Johnston and Jill Lofald, I know them both, and they're going to be facing off. And Art won 4 years ago handily, and, it's going to be interesting. So that's going to be quite a fight over there. For city councilor at large, here in the city of Duluth, we have Zach Filipovich, Janet Kennedy, Barb Russ, and Rich Updegrove. Folks, I think it's going to be a runaway train. Zach Filipovich is going to be the returning city councilor. However, for second place, it is a crapshoot. And I'm going to say it's a crapshoot between Janet Kennedy and Barb Russ. I think it's going to come down to minimal votes, and whoever gets the pick on that one. So Barb and Janet are fighting it out for that second seat. We will see what happens coming up here on the 7th of November. Remember to vote 7th of November. I'm just playing betting man here, but I cannot pick a winner between those two. Honestly, it's going to be that close. And the city councilor for the 2nd district, Joel Cypress and Ryan Sistad. I've seen more with Ryan Sistad in the last few weeks than I have leading up to the election. So I'm quite interested to see how the 2nd district will vote. However, I think that the 2nd district is going to vote Joel. That would be my guess, but if Ryan Sistad wins, okay. And in the 4th district, Howie Hansen and Renee Van Nett. I'm going to say Renee takes it. in a surprising walk. I think that it's going to be not as close as people are thinking that it will be. So, Renee, I think, will be your next city councilor in the 4th District. 4th District is such a weird district, though, as we talked about with Joel Heller here on the Politics Show before and on the Keeping It Local show. And then, of course, the city question, we have a 0.5 general sales tax for street maintenance. A yes would be, that you're in favor of the city of Duluth requesting authority to enact a sales and use tax dedicated to fund the street improvement program. There have been a lot of issues with streets lately, and the improvement program, where the money's coming from. And now they're looking for sales tax increase for street maintenance. So if you vote yes or no on that, again, I'm not going to be the betting man here and say what I would pick. I'm going to play it cool and be like, it's okay. So that's what's going on with the city of Duluth. City of Superior does not have elections until spring. So I will have many shows until then, as we do here on the Scott Show podcast, talking about keeping it local. We will have a special show saying who won these 7 different elections that we have going on. And we might even talk a little bit about Minneapolis and St. Paul. St. Paul is electing a mayor. I think the person who is in the lead on that one is Melvin Carter the third. Big shout out to him. He's a great guy. And in Minneapolis, it's a lot tighter race with Betsy Hodges and the guy is named Raymond. I cannot remember what his last name is. And Jacob Fry is running, and there's a whole bunch of other people running for the mayor of Minneapolis. It's going to be super close, and they have ranked choice voting there. So it'll be a tight race all the way around. But local elections are super important, so make sure you vote. And early and often, as they say in Chicago, but you can't vote often, you can vote early. Here in Minnesota you can, and it's awesome. So local elections matter, folks. Get out to vote here on the 7th of November. You guys have a great day, and we will see you soon here on the Scott Show podcast. Keeping it local.